little coffee before I head into what should be a busy weekend at the garden center. The weather was crap yesterday, so we'll see. Last week certainly was very busy. But I closed last night and I'm opening this morning, so I got like 4 hours of sleep. That's okay. It's been a very reflective week and just more momentum. So being busy, I'm grateful for. My parents' dog passed last week, and actually maybe 2 weeks ago now. And then I went downstairs yesterday and found my little bunny, Spartacus Maximus. My prophet bunny passed away. Just my first bunny ever, 39. I got my first bunny and I love them so much. They're such a big part of my life, but he started it 5 years ago when I got to my parents' ranch and crash landed there, and was just in a really dark place. And my mom knows me very well, and she said, you know, I saw these crazy cute fluffy bunnies at the store one day, and they're called lionhead bunnies, and why don't we try to find the breeder? So we asked the store, tracked this lady down, and went to her bunny barn, got my first little bunny. I called him Spartacus Maximus, the prophet bunny, because he always looked like he was praying when he went to clean himself. I made a lot of those videos. I'll throw a few on here. So much was happening. I didn't feel very ordained to talk about what was wise at that time. Anyway, I'm very grateful for my beliefs around death, I'll say. I think so often in life we feel like we have to accept things. People tell us, well, this is how it is, so you have to accept it. And you're always trying to cram in how you feel with what's true. And one thing I love about Abraham and the spiritual thought processes we talk about here is that there's such a peace to it. And here's the thing. We all think we're supposed to agree, but I'm going to quote Abraham on this again to say it's ridiculous to think we came here to all figure out the right way to do life and then get everyone to agree with us. It's never going to work. We're never going to be able to kill enough people to get everyone to agree. And that's just not what we came for. We came here to explore what we want and what we desire and what we like. And so we don't have to have the same opinions about death. But here's what I'll say. Having lost a lot of people and animals, and especially recently, in the last 5 years, I think that we should research our belief systems, the way we do our clothing style or our business sense or anything that we do, because our beliefs should work for us and support us. We shouldn't take on a belief system and then try to cram ourselves into what it tells us is true. We can feel our way to truth. And when I used to believe that animals had no souls and just, were gone when they died, that didn't work for me. That put me in a lot more pain. And I love knowing now that if something hurts, it's not good for me. It's not that I'm not accepting it, it's just not good for me at that time to be thinking about it or vibing at it. So to find beliefs that comfort me and work for me is really important, and that is really what matters for each of us. So for me, I believe animals reincarnate. It was really obvious to me at the ranch for some reason, because I think I watched so many creatures pass away and then be born. It was really obvious to me that the ones who were being born weren't operating off instinct, but off knowing in a different way. And yes, they can be guided by source, but especially with the bees, the way the bees would come out and jump right into being a bee, I was like, these things have been bees before. That's been a bee before. That's been a bee before, and it just passed away and rested, got a new body, and popped back out and kept doing what it was doing 5 minutes ago, just with a new body. And I just had this really deep sense at some point in observing all of it that this was the truth. And so that's really worked for me and comforted me. But it doesn't change the fact of the loss, that it's so sad to let go of the animals that we love. And I believe in reincarnation, that they come back. I might own the same animal twice in one lifetime, that I don't know. But I think we have long-term relationships with either of these streams of consciousness. And so that's comforted me a lot to know that Spartacus Maximus and Da Vinci didn't end. They were just done with this journey, maybe this body, And I'm grateful that we had so many experiences together that I'll continue to share. And it's just fanning the flames of the desire for my own property and ranch. And yeah. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and read a belief bridging example. This is from the Abraham Flip book, which applies to anything, but applies here too. An example of the bridging process, this says. So this is an example of how to get from feeling negative about something to more positive. You've intended to acquire a new red car. And visualizing yourself as the owner of this car, you're filled with strong, positive, excited emotion. Your car is on its way to you, for you have set it in motion, and you have done nothing to stop its motion towards you. And then you see an automobile like the one you're wanting. As you feel happy or excited, then that positive emotion is an indication that the thoughts that you were thinking regarding the creation of your new red car are in harmony. In other words, when we feel good about something we're thinking about, it means that that's the same way our spiritual component self is thinking about it. It's a new way to reframe emotion. And when you're upset, it means that you're thinking differently than your spiritual component. That's very different than what I was always taught emotion is. And learning that has made emotion a lot more neutral for me and a lot more of a tool rather than, oh, they're out of control, or it's my hormones, or it's that time of the month. It's like, no, my emotions just have to do with my perspective and viewpoint, which I have power to change at any time. But if you feel depressed or dissatisfied, or you are unhappy and anxious because you do not have it yet, then know that the negative emotion is an indication that you are creating against your desire and that you are now pushing your car away rather than attracting it to you. And knowing this about negative emotion, that it's attracting things we don't want, that it's pushing away what we do want, is really a helpful motivator to get it handled. And to use the tools we have, like our point of perspective and power, like I was talking about with the beliefs around animals, to continue to move our beliefs to match the greatest feeling of harmony and understanding that that isn't weak and an unwillingness to accept reality, but that is understanding the true nature of our emotions, of our spiritual component self, how to attract what we want. It's the smarter way to be. And that doesn't mean you're not going to be upset. Yesterday I was sobbing all day when I wasn't at work. I get my car, cry, drive home, cry. But I understand it as grief and just an emotion that needs to pass out of me. And it's creating a deeper desire and want in me. And I was trying to focus on what it makes me want more grief rather than getting caught in, this always happens to me, everybody's dying and all that jazz. That is only going to make me feel worse, which means it's going to take me towards things I don't want. It's important to realize that creative power of negative emotion. Because I used to think negative emotion was happening to me, but when I realize it's really impacting my life, then it motivates me in a different way. You may stop that negative creating immediately by building the following bridge. I want a new red car like that one. I have set the creation in motion. Now I have only to allow it to be, and it will be. For a moment, I was pushing it away, but I've stopped that now, and I'm again attracting it by my strong desire. I am excited when I think about having and driving my beautiful new red car. Nothing can prevent me from having my red car. Only my thoughts, my own thoughts, might push it away. My thoughts are again attracting the car. I know that because I feel positive emotion. And obviously the day you lose a dear fuzzy friend is not going to be the day when you're flowing full of positive emotion. However, there is a way to grieve I see that's a more positive come from. I think loss can harden us or soften us. I want it to soften me. And I feel that softening and the opening and the gratitude for having the experience of loving these little fuzzy things. And the experience of losing them and everything that I learn throughout every moment of the journey, from getting them to burying them and saying goodbye. They're always teaching me. They're always reflecting something back at me about myself. And bunnies especially, they never make a sound in their lives, and yet they say so much, and they mystify me that way in their silent communication. They're just like all energy. And anyway, I hope you have a blessed day today. I plan to do the same. Let's get out there and be balls of light, be hopeful about what we want, and gentle in our observation and view and thoughts about others, and positive and eager for the future, no matter where we are, that it's all continuing to expand and go somewhere brings me a lot of peace. Even after death, we are growing and expanding, and more is happening. And it's the real reality of the non-physical. I shouldn't say the real reality, but the non-physical reality still contains everything that comes to play here. There's no endings. So with that, have a blessed day.